Hello everybody, it's Drew, better known as Bleakborn, and today I'm going to repot these tiny 3 Norfolk pines that I just picked up at the grocery store for $3.89 for the 3, and I'm going to plant them into tiny little bonsai pots. We'll see how this goes. As always, I'll be using my favorite mix I got, is the Hoffman's mix. You can pick these up at local gardening stores usually. Not sponsors, just really like this stuff. So what I'll do, starting, is I got 3 little pots, but I'm gonna comb up these roots here. So I'll just turn this down. We'll just wiggle this out free out of the thing. They're not technically a pine, I guess. They're closer. Ooh, look at those roots coming out of the bottom. They're more closely related to like think an orchid or something. Like they're a tropical plant that, you know, doesn't need a lot of soil and can thrive inside of a house environment, but doesn't like getting cold. But we'll just see if I can get these guys free. Those roots are so thick, I might have to do some trimming. If I do, I'll have to run up and grab my trimmers. There we go. There should be 3 separate trees here. I'll keep breaking apart the dirt. They're really wound up together here. They do require high humidity, so we'll see how well they do in the Hoffman's mix. It's a little drier than some other ones, but I think it'll do fine. You can see my face when I'm up here to see my chin. But there we go. So I got one free that was pretty painless, and I will probably plant it in one of these pots. One of the ones with the bigger root base. Take a look at the other one we got here. They're really bound up. Come in, come in, come in. Okay, the second one, look at all those long, thin roots. But it's got one major one. I almost want to trim that off flat. This one's actually kind of got a nice little root base going already, but it has a lot of little roots. So I think you're gonna be my little pot guy, and I think I'll have to go get some quick little scissors to trim these down. So hold on, and I'll be right back. Feels like magic. Got scissors. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is take this one here, and then I got this little pot, and I'm gonna kind of see how I want it to sit in here, and then I'm gonna cut off some of this excess root. I'll probably curl a little bit in, so I'm going to cut probably right here. I'll curl that in, a little bit of that end. I don't mind having it a little. I would rather have them establish good roots in here and then trim them again later. So I'll probably put it in like about there. Let's get some little Hoffman's mix going on here. I have not opened this bag before, so gonna take a little handful, a little too much, get a good base built into the pot, and then I will place it kind of in the middle, put the roots down, and then pour the rest of what I got into there. But now I recommend someone trying to find or make a tool. I actually blacksmith this one myself. It's a little root rake. One end's a little spike, so you can go in and push the dirt down in around the roots and make sure the roots are pushed in and not out. Like right there, that one is growing up. That one I might just trim off. Pull a little too much dirt. You want to make sure that it feels stable in there, like with bigger trees and stuff that have more, yeah, it's too loose. I'll have to get it a little lower in the pot. With bigger trees that have a little bigger roots already, is a little easier to do, but with these little tiny ones that have not much for root structure yet, a little more complicated to really press it in around the roots, especially since they don't really have any. But what I'll do is take some of the stuff that fell down, cover it up, and I'll give it a good water once I'm done. So that's that's the first one. I'll set her aside over there. I won't do any other trimming to it at this point. I want to make sure it's well established really before I do anything else. Now I got these two. Okay, I think I'll do this way. So I'll start with the big one here, and I'm only going to trim off a tiny bit of the tips of these roots. They seem pretty dry. Come off with my fingernails here. But I want to make sure it really gets established root base before I really do a major trim on them. Just because I don't want to kill it. You know, I want to make sure it's well and healthy and on its way before I do any major root removal. Scoops. Get some scoops. Get some scoops out to cover the bottom. Plop all these roots in. Normally you probably would want to trim around the full width of the thing to really get some real radial roots. But for right now, my purposes, I want to get these potted out of the soil that they were in into something a little more bonsai friendly. So I make a complete mess of my table. So then I'll take my little spike, kind of work the dirt down to really help stabilize this tree. You already could see it's starting to really get stable really quickly. So I knock out some of the bigger chunks in here. Pretty good. I'm gonna add a little more dirt and keep pushing it in as some roots are popping up. Which I actually might just trim off. Well, that's a loose one anyways. But these will be my first attempts with ponderosa pines, so we'll see how they do. I'll keep you guys up to date on how they end up doing. And now we'll do the third and final one, which this guy's roots are kind of already growing. Well, with a lot of little roots here, but I think I have to trim off some of this. I think I'll trim from right there. And probably this like long piece here. They're actually pretty brittle. I am going to let it go around in a circle because I kind of want it to get established in the pot like all the other ones before I really mess with the roots. Like, I want a good root system initially. Cut off some of that right there. But I don't want to overcrowd the roots and make it so I have to repot this next year. I want to wait a year or two before I repot something. And you guys could do this with like a bamboo, like, what do they call it? Those rod things for barbecuing. You could use one of the end of one of those, or just anything that's long and slender. Even a pencil would work. I just like the fine point that I blacksmithed onto this one. And it's sitting pretty firm. I'll just go around a little better. Now I'm going to give these guys a good soak, now that they're repotted, and I'm just going to trim off the big needle on that guy. Kind of looked weird. But yeah, you can see this one's drooping a little bit, so this dirt is super dry that they were in, so they haven't been watering them good enough in the store, but I'm going to trim off this lower branch too right now. And I'll trim these down once their final project. But I'll keep you guys updated as the time goes on with these guys. Here's just kind of a look of where's the camera at? Right there. Here's the kind of look of what the ponderosa pine is. It's not technically a pine, but it definitely gives you that look. So if you're looking for an indoor tropical pine tree, which technically these are like, this will work out great for your bonsai collection. So thank you guys for watching. I am Drew, better known as Bleakborn. This is my channel, so please stay tuned, and you guys will see more videos like this in the future. So like, subscribe, hit that notification bell thing down the bottom, and I'll see you guys next time.